Hello, everyone, and welcome to 2019. And it seems like we're starting off the year here with a little bit of a bang to the upside. Or at least the bulls. We're hoping for that. So, without further ado, let's have a look at some of the charts and also a little bit of the news that's been going on the last few days here. And as we can see here, I mean, this is Ethereum, and you know, what we observed already for Christmas is we had this move higher, we came back, it retraced about, I would say this is about 61.8 or 50% more or less of this first move, and after that we've been gaining some steam on the upside as well, and so it certainly looks ready to kind of pump higher, and we could see if this one breaks above here the recent highs, 150, 155, something like this, we could certainly see maybe move up to 200 or something like that, or maybe even higher if this could be a 1 and a 2, and then you get the most powerful wave, which is then the third wave, and that could reach levels about 200. So let's see what happens there. And on Bitcoin, I think it looks pretty similar, but we're not up here yet like Ethereum is, so we're still kind of holding this 61.8 Fibonacci down here, and also the 200 on the 4-hour chart. So we need here to kind of take out this 3.9 level and pump higher. Then we should have a similar kind of setup there as well. And if you look at some of the news here that's been going on, kind of interesting as well, that they're reporting here that maybe Bitcoin will bring Bitcoin to Facebook, and Fortnite stores now accept crypto, and I mean this can be kind of huge within the gaming space as well. I mean there's so many new companies that have been started up as well all over the world, and if they can accept cryptos for certain merchandise or for their games, I mean this is certainly it will increase the popularity of certain cryptos as a payment solution. And so here they're saying the announcement published on Twitter and Medium followed recently resurfaced rumors that Facebook is planning to launch its own stablecoin kind of thing for payments and transactions within its ecosystem. Telegram, as well, as we know, the most popular messenger in the crypto community, has been developing a token called Gram for its Ton network. So there's some news there, and as mentioned, the merchandise store of the popular video game Fortnite has added cryptocurrency to its payment options. The platform Fortnite Retail Row has started accepting payments in the privacy-centric coin Monero. No official announcement has been made yet, but the news was shared by gamers on Reddit and by Monero developer Ricardo Spagni on Twitter. So the article goes on and on here. So that's kind of an interesting take as well, that some of these guys have finally understood that they can also, if they put in cryptos there, people will have a tendency to use that as well for payments. Billions living under authoritarian regimes need Bitcoin, says human rights activists. When reporting on cryptocurrency, the mainstream media often focus on price drops relating to dollar. Yeah, we all do that. But a human rights activist reminds the general public that Bitcoin is not another commodity or stock on the market. I mean, it can be as well, but that they're talking about here, it's rather a tool for liberation, which is also very important. And Alex Gladstein here, Chief Strategy Officer at the Human Rights Foundation, he's published an article titled "Why Bitcoin Matters for Freedom" in Time magazine, and he explains how cryptocurrency can help people retake control of their lives from oppressive regimes, basically. Less than 1% of the world's population, or more than 40 million people, have ever used Bitcoin, but according to the Human Rights Foundation, more than 50% of the world's population live under an authoritarian regime. Yeah, I mean, who doesn't? I mean, these days it's it's spreading. It's not just Venezuela and so on. I mean, you have a look at Europe and so on. It's of course not as bad, but it's all centralized kind of governments all over the place that have other interests in mind than the people. And if we go in here to the article, I will include this in the video as well as links. Why Bitcoin matters for freedom. And here they have a little story here in Venezuela where refugees stream into Colombia searching for food to feed their families. I mean, that's terrible. Years of high inflation projected to top 1,000,000% turned bolívares into scrap paper. More than 3 million Venezuelans have fled since 2014 and 5,000 exit for good each day. According to the United Nations, the exodus is on the scale of Syria and is now one of the world's worst refugee crises. As Venezuelans escape, they leave with close to nothing, desperate and vulnerable. I mean, this is a terrible situation, right? To circumvent this bureaucracy, some Venezuelans have started to receive Bitcoin from their relatives abroad, since it's not possible to send a text message to your family asking for Bitcoin and receive it minutes later for a tiny fee. So, I mean, the technology is certainly moving forward in this regard. And the cash remains, of course, one of the best ways to exercise free speech. Paper or metal money is virtually anonymous and can be used without government surveillance. And of course, as we have seen as well, from China to Sweden, I mean, here in Sweden, it's certainly a trend that is noticeable. I stood in the lineup today trying to buy coffee, and the woman in front of me had cash and they wouldn't accept it. So she had to leave all her drinks and there at the cash register. Governments and companies are driving us towards a cashless world, and they're saying here, Nicholas Taleb has written, Bitcoin is an insurance policy against an Orwellian future. So that's kind of important as well. And as we know, I mean, when he wrote that book, it wasn't supposed to be a guideline to how society was gonna turn out, but apparently it was. 1984, I'm talking about, of course, and so it's up to all of us to kind of make sure that this doesn't go any further than this, because then we're all gonna be in a lot of pain and trouble. Yeah, I think that's about it. So Bitcoin and cryptos for freedom. I mean, that's one important part, and there are many other uses as well. And so let's stop there for the new year, and I wish everybody a happy new year, and let's make 2019 a good year in all regards. Take care, guys.